Hi everyone, I'm Marine. I'm the founder at Bloom Studio. In this workshop, I will share with you practical tips in order to communicate online. The goal is to give you some practical tips that you can apply straight away in order to gain some new customers. You will live with a 30 days action plan to set up your marketing online. This workshop has been created in partnership with your training institutes. Let's go! Bloom Studio, it's me. I'm working with some wellness professional and I'm helping them online with their communication. I'm also making graphic identities, logo, and website for them. A little bit about myself. So I'm Marine. I'm from the south of France originally. I study marketing and communication. Then I moved to Paris. I started the first part of my professional career in Paris. I work for some medias, like for example, the TV channel Canal+, the Radio France, and I also work as a journalist for some online magazine and also paper magazine like Elle. I also work for an agency that was making some website for our clients. Then after that, I was a bit tired of the life in Paris and I decided to move to Berlin. In Berlin, I worked for several companies and I was in charge of the marketing for some German companies that wanted to extend on the French market. Now I'm living in between Marseille and Barcelona. I'm taking care of Bloom Studio, so I'm helping the wellness professional with their communication online. I'm also giving some marketing courses to a school that is based in Berlin. I prepared for you a workshop. The thematic of the workshop is becoming visible and credible online. We are going to talk about the fundamental in order to be successful online if you are a wellness professional. The goal is to help you in order to structure your communication online, also to talk about the basic, about what you need to do in order to gain some visibility and to get some new clients online. And we are also going to talk about the common mistake that you should avoid. Then we are going to talk about visual identity, how to communicate online, how to avoid the mistakes, and also how to build your website. The goal is also to give you a 30 days action plan at the end of this workshop in order to help you to start and to kickstart your communication. First thing, we are going to talk about the visual identity because it's really the starting point of your communication. So first, what is the visual identity? What is a logo? We are going also to talk about the symbolic of shapes of the logo, but also the symbolic of the colors. And the goal is also to give you a methodology in order to create your own visual identity. First thing, what is the visual identity? So on the right side, you can see an image with different elements. You can see a logo, you can see some shapes, you can see some font, you can see some colors and some images. So all of that are part in creating a visual identity of a brand. We also have the logo, that is a very important element of your communication. The logo should be simple and memorable, sorry for the pronunciation. So it's the logo, it's the symbol of your business online and offline as well, because of course it's going to be everywhere on your communication. It should really express your values, your personality, and give a first impression about who you are as a health practitioner. The logo should be simple and easy to read because it's going to be on different elements of your communication. Your logo should be on your website, on your business card, if you are doing some flyer and some other elements. So it should be very easy to decline and very easy to read. The logo, what is it exactly? It's just like different elements. So on your logo should be your name, should be usually your activity, and you should choose a nice font and some symbol or icons that are representing your activity. The colors are also part of your graphic identity. They are not only here in order to be pretty. The colors are here in order to express who you are, to express a bit what are your values, and to help the people to feel something when they are in contact with your communication. They are really like here in order to give an emotion and to express your style and to express who you are as a person. So the brain is working like that. Like when the brain is in contact with some colors, we are feeling something. The goal is to think about what you want your potential client to feel when they're in contact with your visual identity. I very often have the question, Marine, how many colors should I choose for my graphic identity? It's a very good question. It can be a bit difficult to choose your own colors, especially if you're a color lover like me. We usually think, oh, I want this one, this one, this one, but you should really make a short selection. You should keep a certain amount of colors only, because if you have too much color, you will not know or to apply them on your website, or to apply them on your communication. It would be always like, oh, okay, should I choose this one or this one for this particular element? So basically, you should keep in mind that you should choose one main color that will be the dominant color. Then you can also add like 2 other colors that are going to be secondary colors. And then a neutral color. So the neutral color is going to be here to do the balance with the other colors that are going to be a bit more strong, a bit more bright, a bit more colorful. There is also different families of colors. So there is in one side the warm colors, and the cool colors. The warm color, they are here in order to express like something very energetic, very friendly, something very warm. You should be careful the way you use them, because they can be very strong colors. And then on the other side, you have cool colors. So cool colors, they are very often used, for graphic identity, for health practitioner, for example, for the sophrologist, for hypnotherapist, because they are colors that are expressing the balance, the calm, the serenity, and the relaxation as well. There is also another family of colors that are the neutral colors. So neutral colors, you can like see here the white, the gray, the black, the browns. They are colors that are like authentic. They are colors that are expressing the simplicity. They can be quite elegant as well on the website, for example. And they are like to use when you're a wellness professional as well. Then each color is having its own signification. We have the red, so the red is a very powerful color. It can be a bit aggressive, so you have to be careful. If you choose red as part of your graphic identity, you have also to pick carefully which declination of red you are going to work with. Okay, it's a color that is really like expressed in order to attract the attention and to express the action, and sometimes as well the emergency. We also have the orange color. So the orange color is used in order to express vitality, something warm, something friendly. It's also a very good color that is having an human touch. Then the yellow color, I really love yellow, but you have to be careful if you choose yellow as part of your graphic identity, because it can be quite strong. Okay, so it's about knowing how to use it and to balance it with some other colors. For example, on my graphic identity, I choose yellow as the dominant color, but I balance it with white and black. So the yellow, it's a color that is very joyful, optimistic, that is used in order to express the clarity. We also have green. So green, if you are a wellness practitioner, of course, it's a color that you can use because it's expressing nature, it's expressing balance, it's expressing harmony. Okay, so it's very often used for a job in wellness, like for example, naturopathy, if you have something to do with plant, for example. The blue color, it's also a color that you can use for wellness. There is many very nice declination of blue as well. And the blue is used in order to express calm, to express trust, and something that you can really rely on, usually. Then we have purple. When it comes to purple, it's more a color that is used for relaxation and for energy. For example, for Reiki practitioner, it's a very good color. It's a color that is used for spirituality and also to express the creativity and the calm. Then we have the black color. The black color, it's elegant. The black color, it's also quite modern if you use it with a color that is a bit more bright. We also have the brown. Brown color, it's expressing something very authentic, very warm. It's something to express the nature as well, the roots. It can be used for wellness message, for example, reflexology, naturopathy as well. And then you have the white. So the white, it's a color that is pure. It's a color that is fitting with some other colors to balance them as well. On a website, like for example, if you think, which background should I do for my website? For sure, white is a very good color because it's going to highlight all the rest. We also have terracotta. So terracotta, it's a color that is very warm, very authentic. It's a color that is also asked a lot from my clients, usually for a website or for a graphic identity. Pink is a color that is soft. It's a color that is expressing the calm, something very cozy, something very warm and comfy in general. Then you have like the beige, the cream, and ecru. They are also used and asked a lot for graphic identity for wellness professional. So there are some colors that are authentic, that are grounding, and there are colors that are suggesting also the creativity and the stability. Here I put for you all together the different colors and their signification. And the good question is how to find some inspiration. If you don't know which color you like, which color palette, because it's not only about a color, it's about the combination of several colors together. So for that, I really advise you to look at Pinterest. It's a wonderful platform. You can really directly write color palettes, and you will see many color palettes for your inspiration. If you like a specific color, for example, you like pink, you can just type in like a pink color palette, and then it will really give you some ideas of some colors and some color combination. I also got another tool for you, which is colors. So colors, it's a bit different. Like you can see directly on the home page, there is different color palettes. If you like one of them, you can click on them. But for example, here on the palette that is on the home page, let's say that I don't like this blue. It's not my blue, I don't like it. You can click on it and then it will generate different blue until you find the one that you really like. So it's a great tool. I really invite you to have a look at it. And then when you choose a color, the things to do for sure is to ask yourself 3 questions. Okay, so first question is, what do you want people to feel when they will be in contact with your communication? Do you want them to feel cozy? Do you want them to feel your energy? Do you want something that is very calm, that is really going to make them feel secure and good? So first thing is that, to ask this question. Then second question, do you really like those colors? Do you think that there are some colors that are representing you, that are fitting with you? Sometimes we like some colors because they are just trendy. You see them everywhere, you think you like them, but at the end, those colors, they are not you. And then last question, are those colors fitting together? Very important to have some colors that are looking good with each other. Then another very important aspect when it comes to graphic identity is to know that before to do a logo, you should know the signification of shapes. Okay, there is different shapes that you can choose for your logo. All of them, they have a meaning. So when it comes to the circle, the round, oval, it's like some shapes that are here in order to create a continuity, to create a form of harmony, of perfection. There are also forms that are expressing safety, softness, something that is freed. Then you have the square and the rectangle. So square, rectangle, they're more giving that impression that things are on a box. Okay, so when things are on a box, here you express more the structure, something that is a bit more strict, something you can rely on. And then we have the triangle. So triangle, I really like it personally. It's a form that it's dynamic, but also that is used in order to express the energy, the progression. Very good form as well for a logo. And then we have the lines. So when it comes to the lines, it can be the lines on your logo, but also the lines on your website. You see sometimes some websites that are very strict line. If you go to look at the footer, at the slider, for example, and then you have some other website where the shapes are very round. The picture also, they are not like square, they are very round. So it's also important to know that curved lines, they're expressing something a bit more natural, a bit more flexible, a bit more soft, a bit more cozy. And then straight line, they are more here in order to express something that is precise, something that is structured, something that is really like something you can rely on. And of course, because you are, I think if you are here following the workshop, you are a wellness professional. And if you work with nature, of course, we have some natural symbols you should think of if you are trying to brainstorm your graphic identity. And of course, we can think about leaf, about flowers, about roots. So here they're expressing the nature, something that is growing as well, the vitality, the life, and the beauty. And we have also the spiral. So the spiral is more something that is expressing the evolution, the transformation, something like a life circle. We have the drop for purification, drop for care, drop for flow. And we have the moon. So the moon, several signification. It's an energy, the moon, that is very feminine. It's expressing also the feminine circle, the regeneration, and the intuition. Another part very important of your graphic identity in order to define how you are going to communicate with your client, it's the tone. When we talk about tone, we are talking about the tone of voice. How are you going to address yourself to your client? So you can be formal or informal. This totally depends on the relationship you are going to build with your client. This also depends on your activity. This depends on your personality as well. So you can have a tone that is more respectful, okay, a bit more like professional, or you can have a tone that is really like a bit more like friendly in order to create a different type of connection. Of course, there is no, like wrong answer or right answer when it comes to the tone. You should really choose the tone you feel comfortable with. Okay, so professional tone, it's usually, like you avoid casual wording. You try really to polish your style, to choose your word carefully. And also, when it comes to your graphic identity, you should think about your photo, your picture. What are the pictures that are going to represent you? So it's also an element that is going to reflect who you are and to reflect your universe, your mood. Okay, very important to pick them carefully. So here, for example, you have like two professionals. You can see that one is having a picture that is more in the nature with the wind, because this person wanted to really like express something like cozy, comfortable, something that is like like her personality basically. And here on the right side, this guy just wanted like more to express also his personality, to be a bit more dynamic, a bit more funny. So this really depends of your universe. It really depends of you, of what you want. But there is some tips when it comes to the picture. You need always to think about uploading. Doesn't matter where you are going to upload them. If it's on your website, if it's on your Instagram, for example, you need to upload some bright picture. Okay, don't upload picture that are really like you feel, are they made in the basement, because they're really dark. You have some tools online everywhere. It's very easy, even with your mobile, that are helping you in order to put more light on your picture, more luminosity. So always think about that. It's very important, the luminosity. And of course, you can mix your own picture with some professional picture that you can find on some royalty-free image bank. I will give you, here, Unsplash and Pixel. There are some websites where you can get some images that you can use for free. If you are doing that, okay, so those one, Unsplash and Pixel and Pixabay, they are very good one. There is also Unsplash that is there on the presentation. Really visit them. You can find some very nice picture, but be careful. If you are using some picture that you choose on those type of websites, they need to be coherent, okay? You need to be consistent visually. It's what I mean. So here, for example, I tape hypnosis on the same website. And of course, if you are uploading some picture like that, you are going to upload your own picture. You are the pro. But it's just to give you an example. Here, on the left side, you can see that like both of them, basically, they are doing hypnotherapy. But it's not the same style. Look, not the same decoration, not the same way to dress. And on the so left side, wood, colors, right side, leather, and black, gray. It's not the same style. So when you pick some images, think about your style, okay? Think about who you are, and you need consistency to choose some images that look like each other. Even if they are not made by the same photograph, they need to be a little bit the same style, of course. So when it comes to the consistency, here I have an example. So this is a website that I have made for one of my clients. And here it's a screenshot that I have made on the page services. She's offering different services: hypnotherapy, EMDR, scan therapeutic, etc. All of those images, I choose them on a website, so it means that they are not the picture of my clients. But if you look at them, they look consistent, okay? They look the same style. I also apply a filter. So when you look at them on the website, it doesn't look weird. It doesn't look like, it's like a different photographer that took them. Yes, it's the case, but it doesn't look like. So think about that when it comes to visual consistency. When it comes to visual consistency, there is another thing that is very important, is that you should always, doesn't matter what you produce and where you publish your content, it should always be consistent with your graphic identity. So it means if I'm visiting your Instagram account, it needs to be the same color and the same graphic universe as your website. If you have like a YouTube channel, if I look, at the banner of your YouTube channel, it needs to be as well the same style, as your website. Everything needs to be consistent. It's very important. So now the big question: how to create your own visual identity? Let's say that you may have already a visual identity, but you are not very happy about it and you need to start from scratch. Or you are new in the profession and you need also to start from scratch and to create your graphic identity. So here we are going to talk about the methodology in order to create a graphic identity that is going to fit for you. First thing to do, you need to think about three things: your mission, your vision, and your values. Okay, so before to choose those colors, try to think about what is your mission. So, what is the purpose of your activity? What do you want to bring to the market? Every day when you wake up, what do you want? What is the meaning of your job for you? Okay, so here I wrote, what is the reason your business exists and what does it truly bring to your client? Then you need to think about what is your vision. Okay, so what are your long-term goals? Okay, in which direction would you like to go? Here I wrote, what is the ambition that drives you and the future you want to build? Then the values. Okay, so the values are the principle that define you and guide all your choices. I wrote, what are the core principles that shape your decision? So those questions, you take like a notebook or whatever, a piece of paper, and you are going to write what you feel when you hear those questions. It's the first step. Then a second step that is also very important is that you need to know what is your audience. When I'm talking about your audience, try to picture your ideal clients. You know why they will come to you. Which kind of services do you offer for which type of person? So try to close your eyes to think about them, all of them, not only one type of person, okay? Try really to define them, like what are their needs, what are their expectations, how can you help them? So you are going to do the personas. It's how we call it. It's the fact that, okay, you need to define, maybe create 3 or 4 personas, meaning like 3 or 4 type of clients that can come to you with different age, different expectation, different issues maybe that you can help them to fix. It will really help you later on. If you picture them in your head, then it will be easier for you in order to help them and to talk to them. Then you need to ask yourself again some question. Okay, so if your business were a feeling, what will be that feeling that you want to give? Then try to think also about what universe or image naturally come to your mind. Close your eyes again. Think about your activity. Think about what you have to offer. Think about yourself. Think about the elements that you like. Look around you as well. Look at your decoration. Maybe there is like some symbol or things that are coming back or some colors. Try really to think about you, who you are, and what can be a source of inspiration for you. Then you need also to think about what makes you unique. As a professional, do you think you are authentic? Do you think you are like you like to personalize your service? You are someone very intuitive. Try to think what is making you unique on the way you are supporting your client. Then you also need to think about your atmosphere. Okay, what do you want to create? Which type of atmosphere? Something like on the picture I show you, that is looks very professional when you enter in the room, that is really a bit strict, or something that is warm, cozy, something that is maybe creative with a lot of colors. Try to think about all of that. Then you need to look for inspiration again and again. Let's go to Pinterest. And here, like look at some inspiration. Doesn't matter if there are some images or pictures that are related directly with your activity or not. You need to find some element that you like. Doesn't matter if it's about nail polish. Maybe you like the color. Okay, so open Pinterest. You can also go on Behance. You can go on Instagram. You can go everywhere. And the goal is for you to create what we call a board. Okay, so open a presentation on Google Slide, open Canva, create a presentation, and then you will save some inspiration, some things that you like. So the inspiration, very important, can be everywhere. It can be offline, it can be online. For example, when I'm looking for some inspiration, when I'm walking on the street, I'm like seeing sometime, like some shop. Like the last time I've been, like it was like a shop that was selling sunglasses, and it was amazing. The decoration they put on the store, they were a combination of colors that was amazing. I really liked those combinations, and I took a picture, and I saved those combination of color for later, and it helped me. Like it's like so the inspiration is everywhere. Even if you walk on the street, you see like a barber shop. You it's not your activity, the barber shop. Well, it's not your job, but then there is something that you like there. And take a picture, save it. If you don't really know what you like, it can happen. Sometimes there is like too much choice, too many nice things. So what you can also do, it could be as well that you are going like to think when you're in contact with a graphic identity, with a visual, with something, maybe if you don't like it, ask yourself why I don't like it. What's the problem? Why? And then it can help you to find out what you like. Just saying, just an idea. Also, when it comes to inspiration, and I'm talking here about getting the inspiration, not copying, but you can also look at some other therapists. Look at what they are doing. Go on Instagram, go also on Google. On Google, you type the name of your job, and then you can also find, some other professional. Usually, if they are doing their job well, they should put the link on their website. Click on the website, have a look of their graphic identity. This can also help you to see what you like, what you don't like, what you want, what you don't want. And it's always about inspiration. You don't copy, because remember the goal, it's for you to create something that look like you, okay? That is going to communicate for you. So no way to copy paste a graphic identity of someone that is already existing. Then the goal, I think you understood it, the goal of all of that is to create a mood board. So what is a mood board? The mood board is this slide, this presentation that I ask you to open in order to copy and paste some elements. So every time you see, for example, I told you to take a picture when you're outside, something you like, you are going to put it on one slide, one presentation, okay? And the goal is to put like different elements that you like. So here, for example, you see a mood board of one of my clients. So you can see that it's really like some natural color, some combination of texture, something very light in terms of color, very natural, a touch of wood, a touch of plants, something very, very, very pure, okay, very calming. So when it comes to your image, when it comes to do the mood board, you can mix different things, okay? The goal is really to brainstorm at that stage. So you don't need to know exactly what you want. Just when you see something, you can put it on your presentation. Okay, then the mood board, it's basically going to help you in order to know and to define your graphic identity. So what do you need to put on it? Everything. So it can be picture, it can be some illustration, it can be some images, it can be some texture, it can be some atmosphere. So when I'm talking about atmosphere, even if it has nothing to do with your activity, for example, you see that when it comes to interior design, interior decoration, there is different styles. So if you think about a kitchen, It can be several type of kitchen, some with some wood, some with many colors, some kitchen, they are very white, very clear, very clean. Think about if your activity or if you would be a kitchen, which type of kitchen you will be. So that's why you can also put some interior design picture on it that you like. It will help you to define who you are and what you may like in terms of texture, in terms of colors, in terms of style as well. Okay, here another type of mood board. So here you can see also that the color, they are quite soft. It's a combination of neutral colors, beige, brown, a bit of dark, white, and also look at I didn't talk much about the typography, the font. You can also put the font you like, and you don't have to make a choice right now. So it means that if you like different type that you can see online or offline, you put them, and we decide later about what will suit best for your graphic identity. Then here, another type. So here you can see a bit like the beach vibe. A little bit, we feel a bit on holidays, but at the same time, we are not really on holidays. So you can see the colors. There is a bit of blue, a bit of neutral color. It's like creating an atmosphere that is very creative, but at the same time, that is not too creative. It could be a very nice graphic identity. Here there is also a logo. You see, the person that made this mood board like this logo. It doesn't mean that we are going to do the same. It just means that, okay, look at it, know what you like, and maybe it will help you when you are creating, and if you are creating with someone also, your logo or your graphic identity in general. Here, it's another style. So it's a mix between wood. We can see that we're in the city, but at the same time, it's a bit tropical. It feels tropical, a combination of, organic 100. It's like the font. It's a bit of calligraphy, a bit of illustration, a bit of nature, a bit of wood. Very nice one. And here, totally different style. So the main thing is that we can see a lot of white, something very bright, but with some colors that are very powerful color. Okay, so red, yellow, and as I said, you can have powerful color. It's just by touch, and it also depends on the way you are going to use it. Here I can see also that the different typography are very different. The font that they choose, they are very strong. Huh? Very interesting, this one. And of course, when it comes to the mood board, you put everything you like. So here, for example, there is more illustration. If some illustration are important for you, put them in your mood board, okay? Also, when it comes to the color palettes, yeah, it's the only thing. Maybe try, to keep 3 or 6 main colors on the picture that you are choosing. It's not an obligation because you need to brainstorm. It's better to have like 6 maximum type of color. So the goal is when we look at your mood board to really see what you like, what is your inspiration. Now that we talk about your graphic identity and how you should create it, we are going to talk about how you should communicate online. Those are very basic things that you should do, but you should do it well. Okay? If you don't do the basic well, then I think it's not very necessary to start some other way to communicate and do your marketing online. And let's make sure that you are doing well. What are the basics? So that's why we are going to talk about Google Business Profile. Very important for a therapist, very important for a wellness professional. Then we are going to talk about the website. Websites are always a big topic for my clients. So we are going to talk about what is important, how to make your website, what you should include on your website, and also about social media. I've got a lot of questions from my clients about social media. And yeah, so let's start. First thing, Google Business Profile. Google Business Profile, it's the first point of contact between you and some potential clients. Think about the fact that people will get in touch directly, even if you don't do anything special for your communication, they may find you also with Google Business Profile. So it's very important to optimize your profile and to do what you need to do in order to get the best, like visibility, but also in order to have a very good image and to be chosen, because it's very important. It's what we need. It's what we want. We want some potential client to choose you. First thing to know when it comes to Google profile, you need to use it in order to share some information, basic information, like, for example, are you open on Saturday? Where are you located? Okay, do you have a website? What are saying your previous clients from the services that you have done in the past? It's the first point of contact that should lead them to your website. It's it's something that is used in order to check the reviews of your potential clients. Okay, so it's used for your credibility. It will help you to build your credibility online as well. So first thing, okay, or Google will decide to highlight your Google profile instead of another. So for example, if I look for hypnotherapist in a specific city, let's say, a specific city, then I will see several results, especially depending on the city. If it's a big city, there is not only one hypnotherapist, there is a lot of competition. So the good question and the good thing to know is how Google is going to highlight you instead of another profile. So basically, it will depend on several things. First, the relevance. Okay, so people will look at with some keyword. They will search with some keywords, and Google will propose a profile depending of the keyword they will type in. Then the proximity. So if they are on their mobile or if they are in a specific city, Google knows it, and they will suggest some professional that are located nearby where they are. The popularity as well. So your profile will have a ranking for Google depending of the reviews that you got, depending of several things. How many review? What are the ranking of your review? You know that you have a note that is based on all the review you got, on the interaction, and on the way you are updating your profile. And then it will also depend of your activity and your credibility. So do you have, for example, a link to your website, or you have nothing, or you have a link somewhere else? Do you have some recent posts, that you can post some actuality? Do you update it on regular basis? When you are like doing a specific promotion or a specific offer, do you think about updating it and putting it also on your profile on Google? This is very important. Also, are you adding some picture, or the picture are still the same since 3 years that you launched your activity? And then, are you answering to the reviews you got? It's very important to answer to the reviews. So you have different things, as I said, that are important. The reviews, it will depend of the amount of reviews you get and the quality that you get. Okay, so you will get like a rate depending on what the people are saying, but also how much they are giving you out of 5. Then active engagement. Are you replying very fast to the reviews, or you are not replying at all? And of course, the proximity. It's like the geographically where you are located, depending of the users that are looking for a professional that is offering the same type of service as you. Then, what are the contents that are going to make the difference? Because keep in mind that the goal is that they will choose you at the end instead of another professional. So what can be the difference? What can make the difference? Your picture. Okay? Keep in mind that people want to visit you in order to fix one of their problems. They're looking for a therapist, but they are also looking for a human person, someone they will feel comfortable with. So show them who you are, show your face, show your universe, like if you have maybe a place when you are welcoming them, that for some people it can be a bit stressful to consult a therapist. Doesn't matter what is your activity. Keep in mind that maybe it's the first time that they are going to consult someone that is doing the service that you offer. And sometimes it can be a bit stressful. They may have a lot of questions depending of what you do. They will have to talk about personal things with you. They need to feel comfortable. And for that, they need to see a bit they need to have some, maybe they have some expectation, and looking at some picture of you, the place where they're going to be, it can help them a bit to visualize what to expect. Then regular post. As I said previously, if you post something on your website, if you have a blog, if you do a specific offer, don't forget, you can also do some posts on Google profile, sorry. And use it. Use it. Don't forget to publish there as well. And of course, the reviews and the special offer need to be there as well. And you need to be reactive when you got some people that are interacting with you. Okay, so Google review, it's something powerful that can really boost your credibility and your visibility. So it can boost your local visibility because your goal is to appear on the top for your city. Hypnotherapy, if you're a hypnotherapist, of course. Hypnotherapy, your city, okay, you want to be the first one. There is a lot of competitors. The goal is to work on the different things we are going to talk to in order to push your profile to the top. Okay, so it's a wonderful, the profile, they are really wonderful in order to make decision. The prospect, it will really help them to choose you instead of somebody else. Okay, so also it's useful for your credibility with the reviews. If you have like almost no reviews or bad reviews, even worst. Personally, when I'm looking for a practitioner for a service that's, when I don't know, I don't have some recommendation, I'm very careful with the reviews, and it's helping me a lot to make my decision. Also this, and the way they explain how they work, what is their methodology on their website. So basically, it's something also, your profile, that you need to optimize with keywords. That the optimization of the keywords will help you also to be on the top. But of course, it's different elements and different things to do. The reviews are very important. Why? For Google, but also to help your potential client to make a decision to contact you. So the goal is to get the reviews, okay? Because maybe your client are not going to leave them just like that. They're not going to think about it. So what you should do is that you should prepare a mail, like a template, that you are going to share with your clients. I would say it depends of what is your activity. If you see just one time the client and if they're never coming back, or if you need to see them 5 times, 10 times, it depends. But at the end, when you know that, okay, the problematic is done, I don't see this person for a certain amount of time, then you send an email. Okay, send it quickly. Don't wait 1 year, 6 months, or 1 week. Do it the same day. At the end of the day, when it's still fresh, like if a client is telling you, thank you, it really helped me, or oh, thank you, it was so cool, so good, then they will be happy to help you because you helped them. So don't hesitate the same day to send an email. You need to personalize it. I was talking about a template, but you personalize this template with the name of the person, maybe mentioning the type of service that you have done with the person. And and then you ask directly, okay, can you please leave me a review? On that template, you need to put the direct link of your Google profile, okay, so it's easy for them to click on it. And of course, you can also use this mail in order to thank them for their time, okay? And you can add something a bit more personal, not something too complicated, but it can be 2 or 3 lines in order to give also feedback, to give also some tips depending of what you do. So that way you can really use this type of email to get the review, but also to fidelize them a little bit. When it comes to the review, there is some mistake to avoid. Personally, as I said, I'm very careful with the review when I choose a pro that I never met before, and when I have no idea, no recommendation. I look at the review, and trust me, there is things that you shouldn't do in order to get those reviews. So the first thing, don't buy reviews. It's something you can do online if you do some research, but it's very bad. Why? Because Google can detect the fact that you bought those reviews, and they can ban, or they can really lose visibility to your profile. You will, in some cases, not even know it, but then it will have a negative aspect for you. Then, if you get a bad review, don't ignore it. Reply to it. Personally, when I see a bad review, Okay, it can happen. We are all different with different expectations. Sometimes it can also be the client that is a bit strange with strange expectation. And sometimes seeing like a very professional reply is really like convincing me. Oh, wow. Oh, I understand. So don't think that because you have a bad review, it's the end, of your profile. It's like, oh, no, it's something. You can really turn it on something, depending on how you reply, on something very positive. Wait before to reply. On that case, if you see that it's a bit tricky, take the time to think about it. Think about it, sleep on it, and maybe the next day you reply. Also, something I see very often, don't ask your friends, don't ask your family to leave a review. Why? Because we can see it. We can see it. When someone is leaving a review, you can click on it and you can see how many reviews this person left on Google since the creation of their account. There is different type of users when it comes to reviews. There is people that love to leave reviews. Doesn't matter if they're happy or unhappy, they will leave a lot of reviews. So you can see that they have left a lot of reviews everywhere. Then there is some other people that are never leaving any review. So if you only have reviews made by the type of profile that are never usually leaving any reviews, it seems a bit weird. People could question, are they a real client or not? Okay, so typically, if you ask your mom to leave a review, if she's never leaving a review anywhere, it can be strange. And it's the way we can really point out when people are like asking their friends and family. Also, if you are in a specific city or a specific country, sometimes I see that, okay, the review is for a city in France, and I can see that the user, it's based in a totally different country because he's living and commenting a cafe, restaurant in a totally different country. I'm like, that's weird. When he's going to France on holidays, he's going to see a therapist. A bit weird. I also saw many times, like let's say that you have a place where you are like welcoming your client. You have some other therapist. Don't ask them to leave a review. This is a very common practice that I see a bit everywhere. With the name, we can see, we can see who are those people, and it doesn't seem very serious if it's some other people that are working in the same space as you that are leaving the review. Then, other thing to avoid that is very important, avoid to get all your reviews at the same time. It happened to someone I know. She had no reviews, so she decided to do a bulk email to all the clients that she had since the beginning. She got a lot of reviews. When I'm saying a lot, it's not 100, 15 reviews during the same day or the same week. Then Google penalized her because Google thought, it's weird to get no reviews at all during 2 years, and then the same day you got 15. They were real reviews. But it's just that those are not the best practice. So that's why you need to send like every day, at the end of the day, keep some time in order to do that. You ask directly the reviews, like every week, maybe a specific day in the week, you send some email. And the goal is to get some reviews gradually with the time. I think it's also more serious for me when I see some reviews that, you created your activity 5 years ago. You had some reviews 5 years ago. You had some reviews 1 year ago. Like when you see that it's consistent, it's better than if I see that there were a lot of reviews at the beginning. Very strange, maybe the friends and family. And then no reviews at all, So for that, make sure you don't get the reviews on the same period. If you never send any email, if you feel that, yes, you need to work and to get some reviews from your previous clients, knowing what I just told you, maybe you can just, send some email every week, 5 email to 5 old clients. Then you will get gradually the reviews if they are leaving them. Okay, then other very important part, the website. So the website, it's always a big topic. I need to do a website, which platform, how to do it, what should be on the website. Like I'm doing it every day, with my client, and I can see that it's really, when they're contacting me, I can see that some are a bit overwhelmed by the fact that they need to create a website. So we are going to talk about different aspects of the website. So why having a website is important nowadays. Okay, so you can see it has a central space that is representing you, that is representing your activity. You are using the website in order to be credible, to inform your potential clients, to guide them, to explain your methodology and how you work. Okay, so for example, on the Google profile, you should put the link of your website. If you put the link on an Instagram account, just keep in mind that many people are not on Instagram. So it means they will not be able to click and they will not be able to discover your Instagram. You need to link the website. So what are the needs that your website needs to meet? You need to use your website in order to introduce yourself, to talk about your background. It's very important. Think about the competition. There is many professionals that have the same activity as you. And you need to explain, like, where did you learn? Did you do some training? Like, did you do some update on your training? Very important. For me, it's important. Your credibility first. Then maybe you have different services. Okay, then explain what is your methodology? What are your services? What is your approach? Make it easy to book an appointment as well. Okay, so on your website, there should be the link in order to book directly a meeting with you. Then, when it comes to the website, you need to share also some useful content. You need to build your credibility. Okay, so maybe you can do FAQ. Okay, so what are the common questions that people are asking? Think that maybe it's the first time that those people are going to consult one professional that is doing your activity. So maybe they have many questions, they're not sure. You need to really explain how you will work with them, maybe how many sessions. Think also about the most common question that you have from your client. Okay, so the website, it's like you may be in different places online, but your website, see it as something that should be in the middle, linking to the different place as well. It's something that is stable, that is always going to be yours, that is always going to be there. So why you should first focus on your website instead of just having a Facebook or an Instagram account or TikTok also. There is a lot of professionals that are also on TikTok, because not everyone, as I said before, is on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram. So if your potential patient or client are not on it, they will not be able to know a bit more about you. Then it's not very good to add your Instagram account on a Google profile, okay? But your website directly. They will click on it, doesn't matter where they are, and they will be able to see your information. And then don't forget that on social media, you depend on an algorithm. Okay, so let's say you are doing perfect on Instagram, you have a lot of followers, a lot of people are following you, but then, then it's like it doesn't mean, that you are always going to have a lot of visibility. It depends on the algorithm. You can be banned, sometimes. So it's very important to have a website. Something also important is that you can use a website in order to explain more in detail about you, about your services. Recently, I got in touch with a therapist online, and she didn't have a website. She just had Instagram. So I was like, okay, I asked her, do you have a website? No. But what do you want to know? I said, okay, I would like to know a bit more about your background. I think it's normal, no? If I pay a certain price for a consultation, I want to know why she's able to do it. Where did she learn, etc. So she said, okay, look at that type of stories here. There is like on Instagram, there I explaining. No, sorry. I look at it and I didn't get the information that I wanted to know. Why? Because you have to think about the format of an Instagram story. Of course, you can't enter in detail as much as you can do it on your website. There is a lot of competition depending of what you do, and people really want to see some people that they can trust, that they already did the study. It's very important, so I think this is something you can really do with a website, and you can do it better with the website for sure. So your website is under control. It's a place that is stable, that is going to be visible and accessible from everywhere, from Google, from your email, from your business card. And it's also good for your professional image. Personally, when this pro didn't have like a website, but just an Instagram account, I thought, it's for me, it's not so pro. Okay, so what are the things that a good website should include? Okay, so if you have a website or if you are thinking about building one soon, think about that. So you should have a clear structure on the homepage. Okay, so you should explain from the start on the homepage who you are and what you have to offer. Then on your website, you should also detail what are your services. Okay, what are your techniques? How are you doing it? What are the benefits? Enter in detail. Then, of course, the about me should explain who you are, where you learn, etc. I already explained. Then a contact form and something in order to help them to book an appointment. Then the question that the people are asking, okay, a FAQ section. Then the client testimonial are very important. And of course, your website should be mobile friendly, tablet friendly. Make sure that it's fitting for different devices. Then the good structure is the key. So when I'm saying that, it's because if you put some texts that are too long, people are not going to read them. Like they read in diagonally usually. And then, if they're interested about it, they read a bit more in detail. So for that, you also need to do some short sentences. Basically, if you if you read a sentence on your website that is like, and if you can't breathe, read it loud. If you have some difficulty to breathe, you feel that you need like to stop, it means that your sentences are too long. Keep your sentences short. Okay, better to do 3 sentences than a paragrapher with 3 sentences. Okay, then keep some title. Put some title, subtitle in order to structure and organize your pages. And put some bullet points. Sometimes bullet points are better than a long paragraph because they're helping to summarize. Okay, so white space, very important as well. Don't do a website that is too saturated by too many content, too many pictures, too many text. Okay? But different things, and the white space should be there as well. It's going to highlight your text. It's going to highlight your elements. Also, don't forget the call to action. Read more, book now, etc. The call to action are supposed to help them in order to navigate on your website. And of course, you need to highlight in bold, for example, the content that is important for you. The words, help them to read. Help them to read, basically. Very important. Okay, so when it comes to your homepage, you need to include several things. So first, a short introduction about yourself. You need to put your main services with a short description. You need to have a professional picture of you that is showing who you are. Call to action, of course, reviews, testimonial, and then don't forget to mention where you are located. It's very important. Also, invite them to take an appointment very quickly. Okay, so this is a big topic when it comes to creating a website. Which platform? How can you do a website? So first question, ask yourself, what do you know about making a website? Do you think you can handle it? Do you think that technically, graphically, you are good? And in that case, you could, if you're not feeling comfortable with WordPress, you could create your own website on Wix and Squarespace. The platform is very important. Personally, I'm working with WordPress because it's the best solution on the market, clearly. It helps you to achieve a nice design, websites that are professional, websites that are your own website, Like I've got many clients that are coming to me. So first, they launched their activity. They have made a website with Wix and Squarespace. And now they ask me to migrate the website on WordPress because basically what you do is that you are going to pay something monthly to Wix and Squarespace if you do some website with those platforms. The tool to create a website is quite nice. It's a drag and drop system. So you can really make a website in a nice way, but you need to pay monthly. I think it's around like $25, €25. And you pay €5 if you want like your email address to be with the name of your website. So it's quite expensive at the end because when you have a website on Wix, it has been made with Wix. If you stop paying for Wix, you will not be able to keep your website. You need to start from scratch. So many of my clients, they're asking, okay, I made this, I need a new website. And in that case, we start from scratch with WordPress. So what are the differences between WordPress and Wix? I would say the first one is the price. Okay, so when it comes to Wix, you need to pay monthly a certain amount, so 25, 30 euro for a professional website. For WordPress, what you pay is the hosting. So what you pay, it's just like to put on the cloud your website. But if you pay for an hosting service, you can have as many websites as you want most of the time. So for example, if you have like one of your friends or some other therapist, that needs to host a website, it's a price that you can share. Usually it's between 5 and 10 euro monthly, and you can have as much website as you want. So basically, WordPress, I think it's a solution that is super professional, especially when it comes to SEO. If your goal is to be on the top of Google, for example, with the keywords like hypnotherapy and your city, even if Wix and Squarespace are communicating about the fact that it's becoming better for SEO purposes, no, sorry, sorry, it's my point of view, but it's also true that you are not going to achieve the same result in terms of SEO because WordPress, it's very powerful. WordPress is more flexible, more professional, basically, than Wix and Squarespace. I've got many clients that made their website, like when they launched their activity on Wix, they were happy. You're going to be happy. It's like this example that I got. It's like a few days ago, I've done like a workshop in order to do like a mug, with clay. It was my first time doing it, so we spent the afternoon doing it, and we were quite happy about it. When we came back to get it, I was with another friend, and when this friend saw what we have done, she started laughing. And when I told her, "But why are you laughing?" She was, "Because it's ugly." And I look at it and I thought, yeah. You're maybe right. It's ugly. And I didn't realize it. Why? Because it was my very first time doing it. And for me, it was already very good that to do a mug out of clay, for the first time, that I was happy about the result. But it was not like the most beautiful thing ever. So be careful. If you decide to do by yourself your website on Wix and Squarespace, it's also the thing that can happen. Same if you go for a logo. It can also happen, like you will be happy to do something, but ask yourself the question, is this thing helping you to be credible? Is this helping you building a professional and trustful image? Basically, it's the most important thing. Okay, so when it comes to communication as well, you have the social media. Once you have your website, you may think, okay, where should I need to be? What should I need to do? And for that, you have different things that are important to keep in mind. So first advice I can give you, is to focus your efforts where it really matters. Okay, so you have to think about, sometime when you start, you want to be everywhere when it comes to your communication. So you will need to have a website, to open different accounts on several platforms. But sometimes it's maybe better to focus, especially at the beginning, on something in order to do it well, instead of being a bit everywhere and to do, to not do everything 100%. So I think, personally, that if you have like an Instagram account, but if you don't publish anything on it, I think it has like a negative impact. So it's hard to be everywhere. You may think, okay, better to open one and to publish every 6 months than nothing. But no, in fact, if you do something, do it well. Try to do it 100%. And for that, really try to avoid, creating some accounts and not being very active on it. So one step after the other. Focus on what really matters. It's really the advice that I can give you. So when it comes to being also inconsistent, it can really like discourage some client to contact you. Some of them may think, okay, is this account still on activity? Is it like, because I see that there is no publication during the last months? And you need also to focus on the type of content that you like. Okay, so if you feel that it's going to be challenging to make some videos, maybe don't start with that, but work on it. It doesn't mean don't do any video. maybe you will work on it and you will make, the job to be more confident. And once you are going to be confident, you can publish and you can start with that. But try to do something that you like at the beginning, because it can discourage you to start doing something that seems too challenging. You may stop, and you may be like, oh no, you know what, forget about it. You need also to have fun when you work on your communication. It's something very nice to do. So the key when it comes to the organization about your social media, I would say that it's the consistency. You need to be consistent. I've got like many clients that I met that were telling me, okay, I'm creating day by day the content. And for example, they are starting on Monday and they are thinking, okay, what I am going to publish this week. It can be very stressful. You have a job already, a full-time job. And I will say that creating some content can also be a job. Okay, so you have to think about like focusing the way you can focus. Okay, so try to avoid creating the content day by day. This you can do it once you feel more comfortable, but try maybe to create few posts for few days in advance. Personally, I would say that 30 days it's good, 30 content, and then you publish. Then it's made, and you just have to publish, not to create. The rhythm, I would say, is very important when it comes to social media, because you have the algorithm. And of course, the social media, they like users that are posting very often on regular basis. So, make sure that you can be regular. So when it comes to the content that you are going to publish on the social media, there is the content pillars. What are the content pillars? They are basically type of content that you can publish. Like it's not being on the social media, it's not only about talking about yourself and talking about your activity and always saying the same message. Hey, you have this problem, consult me, come to visit me, I can help. No, you need to interest them, talking about different topics around you and your activity. So here I put down for you some ideas. So there is different type of content that you can create. You can share some educational content. On this type of content, you are going to explain your methodology, your activity, how it works, what it does, It's very important. You can, then FAQ, as I said, you've got some question always coming back. You can do some posts, you can do some reels, especially in order to answer one specific question. Then you have the testimonial. You can do an interview, you can talk and share some reviews, of course, depending on what you do. Don't share the name of the person, but share, like in general, find a way to share some reviews, find a way to share, like maybe your experience. So this week I helped someone for this or this purpose. Then share some behind the scene. If you are welcoming them in a specific place, maybe show how you prepare your place. Show a bit like about you also, like what you think. Talk about yourself, your daily life as a practitioner. Then your values as well. You can talk about why you do this job, what is making you unique, what is your conception. You can also share some practice tips. Okay, so here, for example, some exercise that you want to give them, some little tips. If you are doing sophrology, you can explain them, and give them like a 5-minute exercise in order to breathe and to release the stress, for example. And then you can use some inspirational quote and stuff like that, but don't overdo it. Okay, try to personalize and don't share always quote. Sorry, my pronunciation. Oh my god, no quote or things like that. Okay, so keep in mind as well that social media is not magical. Sometimes, and very often, I have to say, to be honest with you, I've got my clients that when they come to me, many of them are obsessed about social media. It's like they think that the social media is everything that they should do, So stop being obsessed about it. If you are not very active on it, or if you are not very good at it, keep in mind that posting on the social media is sometimes not enough in order to fill your calendar with appointment of your clients. Like it's not because you have a lot of views that you're going to have a lot of clients. Keep in mind also that it needs time. You need to be consistent. It's not like one day to another, you open your account on the social media and then you got many clients. No, it's not like that. It's really something that takes time. And keep in mind, that it's a long-term project to be on the social media. So some people are maybe very lucky. They open their account, they start sharing things, and then they got many reviews, many clients, etc. But keep in mind, that it's going to take time. Okay, so if you open a social media account, doesn't matter what is it, keep in mind that it will take you time, in order to see the result, in order to see some followers coming and some views. Keep also in mind that the algorithm can change, and this algorithm can be difficult because if you go on holidays 1 or 2 weeks, the algorithm may penalize you. Okay, so this is a bit tricky sometimes. And the conversion rate. So the conversion rate, it's not because you have 100K of followers on Instagram that you have 100K of view or that you have 100K of clients that are going to visit you. Very important to keep that in mind in order to just avoid some disappointments. But of course, like many practitioners, they are on Instagram, very successful on it, and it's helping them a lot, to sell some ebook, to sell some training online, to have some consultation. For some people, it really work, okay? It's really working, but keep in mind that it shouldn't be everything, and try to keep some expectations that are real expectations. So it's also important to make the most of the videos and the most of the stories. So why it's interesting, to make some stories or to do some videos, because on your website, they are reading about you. On the social media, they are seeing you live. They can really make a good point of view about who you are, how you are talking, about your personality. And again, keep in mind that they are looking for a person they will feel comfortable with, a person that maybe they like, to visit for a consultation. So that's why this format, like the stories with you and some reels when you are talking, can really help you to connect with your audience. You can show your professionalism. You can show that, yes, you are human, it's very important. So 15 seconds maximum per idea if you do reels, instead of doing a long one. Just do several short ones, 15 seconds maximum, because that way you keep the intention of the people, you keep the focus. So the subtitles are very important as well. You have to know that maybe there is around 80% of the people that are scrolling on Instagram that don't have the sound on. So that's why it's better if you put the subtitle. And the call to action. If you talk about something, you have a goal. Invite them to go on your bureau and to click and to know more, to take an appointment, to download something. Okay, also something important that I see very often, don't hesitate to invest on a tripod, in order to have an image that is stable, especially if you do a video. Okay, there is many pro that are like that with their phone. It's moving. It's not so pro. You can find a tripod for €10 on Amazon. Very easy. Same, for the micro. Don't hesitate to get a microphone if you know that you are going to do very often some stories and to talk in front of the camera. Be careful of chasing followers. I meet many people that are very tired of that. So be careful, keep your expectation like regular expectation. And of course, it's something that is taking time. Don't put all your effort on that. I'm sure you have other things to do as well. And keep in mind that sometimes a small account can convert very well, because you need some followers that are qualified. Okay, so also keep in mind that your first clients, they may not come from the social media directly. Your first clients at the very start of your activity, they may come from, people that are around you. When it comes to social media, one of the common mistakes is also to think that social media represent all your marketing, and then you're going to put all your effort on that. Keep in mind that social media should be one of the channel, one of the action that you are going to do in order to get some new clients. Okay, so you can really see the social media like one part of your activity, not all. Okay, actually it should work together. It's just the social media are just one channel among other channels. One activity, one thing when it comes to your communication that you can do among many other things that you need to do. When it comes to social media and when it comes to your marketing in general, keep in mind what are the 3 pillars that we talk together about. First, your website. What is the goal of the website? It's to build your credibility. It's to inform the people about your service, about who you are. Then there is the Google Business Profile that is there in order to help you to gain visibility and also credibility and trust with the reviews. And of course, there is the social media that is here more to build the human connection. They need to see you. They need to connect with you. They need to like you a bit on the way you talk, and they need to know a bit more about you. That's why the social media are quite efficient as well. When it comes to the mistake to avoid when communicating online, there is a certain amount of things that you should avoid. So first thing, starting to communicate and to do different action without having a clear graphic identity. It's very important to first define who you are as a practitioner, because you will apply your design, you will apply your graphic identity on all the different things that you are doing. It's very important to have an identity online to be chosen by some new client and to find some new client. Then the visual identity, keep in mind that it's not just a logo. Okay, as we said, it's like some color, some shape. It's really here to represent your values and who you are and to connect with the people that feel close to who you are. Then communicating without knowing who you are talking to. Sometimes, like it's better to think about who are your personas, who are the people that are going to consult you in order to address some messages that they may need. Talking to everyone, it's like talking to no one, basically. So keep in mind for every action that you do, who are the people that are going to consult you. Then relying only on Instagram, as I said, trying to be everywhere all the time. Okay, so you have to focus your time, you have to organize it. So better to focus on things you are feeling comfortable with and on things that you are doing well. Because you can try to be a bit everywhere if you are, for example, on the social media. If you are not doing it well, it can have a negative impact. Same for your website, same for your logo. If you are not really sure about what to do, think about the fact that things that are not well done can have a negative impact instead of a positive one. Then posting irregularly. Also, if you have a website, also don't hesitate to update it. Okay, you have maybe some new prices, some new services. Same for your Google profile, same for your social media. Update all the things that you are doing online on regular basis. Then hiding yourself behind some quote and generic images because you're a bit shy to show yourself. This is very hard to do, okay, I understand, but try to show yourself with the time. Try to get comfortable. Then another mistake, thinking that more follower equal more clients, okay? Think that quantity doesn't mean quality. What you need is some people that are going to visit you, that are going to book an appointment with you. And for that, you really need to work on it and to convince them about your services. Then having a pretty website, but that is just pretty. A website should be efficient. People are expecting to find a certain amount of information at certain places. So avoid something that is just nice, looking nice. It should be efficient because the goal is for you to push the people to contact you. And then don't underestimate the power of Google Profile. Google Profile, it's a great tool. It's something that will really bring you some people. We talk about your visual identity, the different places where you can communicate online. Those are action, very simple action that you can do. And if you do them well, it can really help you to launch your activity or to find some new clients. I created for you a 30 days action plan that is going to help you to launch your activity as a therapist, as a wellness professional, or to relaunch. So it's really like for both cases, like if you are new on the market, if you need to create everything from scratch, or if you already are on the market for many years, but if you feel that you didn't do maybe the thing right when it comes to your communication online. So you just need to type in this link. I try to create a link that is quite easy to remember, and then you can download this action plan. I really hope that it can help. Then, if you visit this page, I also try to do a link that is easy to follow. You can find some specific prices that are only prices for the student of your school, because I know that it can be a bit complicated to launch your activity and a bit pricey. So I'm trying to make some prices that are affordable, and I will be happy to help you in order to do your website, graphic identity, and logo. Don't hesitate to contact me as well. Unfortunately, we can't interact. So if you have any question or if you feel that I can help you with your communication, don't hesitate to contact me. This is my email. I will be happy to answer your question. Until the next workshop, thanks for your time, thanks for your attention, and see you!